In this class, the problem what we are going to solve is solid resting on a horizontal plane with its axis inclined to HP and parallel to VP. So this kind of question coming under the category solid axis inclined to HP and parallel to VP. The question is shown in the board. Let me to read it for you. So a square pyramid. Okay, the object given in this question is a square pyramid. A square pyramid of base side 40 mm and the axis 65 mm is resting on HP. Okay, where it is resting means a lot. If you mistakenly understood the resting plane, then automatically the entire problem will become wrong. So the resting plane is HP. The solid is resting on HP on one base side. With which element the solid is resting on the horizontal plane? Because it is possible for a solid to rest on a plane by its base side or by its base corner or its side edge or by its side face also. So these are all the various possibilities. Out of this all, in this question, the solid is resting on HP by one of its base side. Okay, the axis is parallel to VP. The axis is parallel to VP and 30 degree to HP. 30 degree to HP is nothing but the axis inclined at 30 degree to HP. You have to take it in that way. 30 degree to HP, you have to draw its projections. So it's a very simple question. The condition, the resting condition of the object is simply given in the very simple words. And let me to show you the actual condition of the solid. Thereafter we can go for solving the question. So the object given in this is a square pyramid. See, this is a sample, a model made up of chart, a square pyramid. The base shape of this pyramidal solid is square, and the dimensions of the solid is also given as base side 40 mm and axis height 65 mm. That is, the base side length is 40 mm. The axis height, okay, you students have one point in your mind. Axis height and slant edge length both are different. In a pyramid, the vertical height, the vertical distance between the base and the apex is nothing but the axis height. The measurable length of the slant edge is not equal to the axis height. It is always greater than the axis height. This length is nothing but slant edge length. Like base edge length, it is actually slant edge length. In most of the problem, 99.9% of the questions, the specifications of the solid is given with its base side length and axis height only. So axis height is nothing but the vertical distance, the vertical height between the base and the apex, the vertical height. Okay, so it's given in the question. In this solid is going to rest on the horizontal plane, by its base side. Okay, lot of elements you can find in that solid. Actually, this solid is having 4 base sides and 4 side edges. 4 base sides and 4 side edges. One base plane, that is in the shape of square, and 4 side faces in the shape of isosceles triangle, and one apex corner. So how many edges in this solid? Actually 4 base edges, 4 side edges, 8 edges. How many corners are in this solid? 4 base corners and 1 apex point. Totally 5 corners are in this solid. So out of this all, this solid is going to rest on HP by one of its base edge. Okay, by one of its base edge. Consider this is what your horizontal plane. Okay, this is what your HP horizontal plane, and this is what your solid. Is it visible? Yes. And this given solid is going to rest on the horizontal plane by one of its base edge. The meantime, the axis of the solid is inclined at 30 degree to HP. So if you have the solid like that, what about the axis condition of the solid with respect to the current standing condition? Now the axis of the solid is perpendicular to HP and parallel to VP. But what I am given in that question, the axis is not perpendicular to HP. It is actually 30-degree inclined to HP. When you make the solid axis 30-degree inclined to HP, definitely it is possible to have rest on the HP by one of its base edge or one of its base corner only. Out of these two choices, in this question, the solid is resting on the HP by one of its base side, and the axis inclined at 30 degree to HP, and the meantime the axis parallel to VP. Axis parallel to VP. If the with the same resting condition, the axis can be inclined to VP also. See here, when I am going to make the solid rest on HP by one of its base side, and the axis inclined at 30 degree to HP, instead of parallel to VP, I can make it inclined to VP also. Okay, if it is in that way, the answer will become more complex, but I am limiting my position in that way. The axis is parallel to VP and inclined to HP. So this is what the final condition of the solid. You need to draw this front view and that top view. When a solid, this solid resting with these conditions, how it look like in front and how it look like in top. This is the nothing but the front and top views of the solid. That is the final front and top views of the solid. But it is not possible to draw this final appearance in the first step of your answer. We are going to follow the change of position method. In the projection of solids, we are going to follow change of positions method. So by this method, first you need to draw the simple projection of the solid, the simple front and top view of the solid. Thereafter, by using that simple projections, you can go for the final projection. How to do that? Let's see. First of all, you need to draw the XY line. Let me to do that. Actually, here the answer is going to be in two stations. So you have to provide a lengthy XY line at the beginning itself. And then how to initiate it? How to initiate it? As usual, you need to ask the two questions to your environment. That is, where and how. Where is nothing but where should be the base. The how is nothing but how should be the base. Where we are going to start the answer. See here, this is what the final condition of the object. Final condition of the object. But it is not possible to draw the final condition at the very first step. What I told you just before, you need to draw the simple projection of the solid. That is simple front view and a simple top view of the solid first. Thereafter, by using that, you can go for drawing the final projection. How to bring the simple projection? First, you need to make the solid in the simple resting condition. So it is considered here as a complex resting condition. What I am going to do is, see, in these kind of problems, before going to ask the where and how questions to the environment, first you need to make the environment simple. That is, first you need to make the axis perpendicular to any one of the principal plane. Now the axis is not perpendicular to either HP or VP. It is actually parallel to VP and perpendicular to, inclined to HP. But what I am asking you to make the solid axis perpendicular to any one of the principal plane. Now just think, making the solid axis perpendicular to VP or HP, which one is easier to you in that condition? This is nothing but the solution. I just made the solid axis perpendicular to HP. Instead of making it hardly perpendicular to VP, simply I can make it perpendicular to HP. So the axis inclination 30 degree to HP is now nothing but the axis is perpendicular to HP. The axis perpendicular to HP. Now I made it. Now it is easier to draw the front and top views of the solid by the previous experience. So far we completed some problems with the solid axis in perpendicular to HP and parallel to VP. In that kind of problems, how you drawn the front and top views, the same methodology here you can follow to draw the current front and top view of the solid. But actually the solid is final and original resting condition is this one, axis inclined to HP and parallel to VP. But for my convenience, in order to draw the simple projection of the solid, I am making the solid axis perpendicular to HP. Now, in which view you can get the base view of the solid, whether in front view or in top view? Actually, what is base view? The base shape square, when where the base view obtained in the view is nothing but the base view. In that condition, the square base of the solid is obtained when you seeing it from the top. So the top view is nothing but the base view for this solid. So you need to start the answer from the top view by drawing the square base of the solid. Let me to do that. So where should be the base? Nothing but in the top view you are going to get the base. The location of the base is nothing but in the top view. So from the top view we need to start the answer by drawing a square. Okay. Next question. How should be the base? In the top view you are going to draw the square. How you are going to draw the square? In which alignment you are going to draw the square? In that alignment or this alignment? Which alignment is more apt, or which alignment is actually apt for the current resting condition? See, the solid is going to rest in that way. In future you are going to tilt it, no doubt. This position is the fact position only, it is not the final position. For our convenience only, we made the axis forcefully as perpendicular to HP. Actually the axis is needed to be inclined 30 degree to HP. So in future I am going to tilt it. In future I am going to tilt it. Keep it in mind. And now if the solid is now resting on HP, when you look it from the top, how the square base is being with respect to the XY line? One base edge should be parallel to the XY line. Otherwise, one base edge need to be perpendicular to the XY line. Because in this question, it is actually the base side resting question. The solid is resting by one of its base side resting condition. So in that type of questions, you need to draw the base view, which is one base should be perpendicular to the XY line. One base should be perpendicular to the XY line. Then only in the second step, when you are tilting the solid, automatically that particular edge will start to rest on the HP. Okay, if you mistakenly draw the square base in that alignment in this question, so at later when you are tilting the solid, automatically instead of one base side, one base corner will rest on the HP. So this is actually wrong. So when you are going to draw the base view in the top, you need to consider which type of resting condition is given for the solid, whether it is given as base side resting condition or base corner resting condition. Here it is base side resting condition. So you have to make one base side perpendicular to the XY line, then draw the remaining portions of the square base. I just run the square base. It is actually a pyramid. It is actually a pyramid. So you have to provide the apex point also by joining the diagonals of the solid. So the apex point can be named with the alphabet O, and the remaining base corners, by our usual rule, we can connect by the alphabets, named by the alphabets A, B, C, D. So this is nothing but the required top view, that is the base view, simple base view of the solid. We can mark the dimension also. Is given as 40. Immediately after that, I needed to draw the projectors for each and every corner of the top view towards the front view area. It is a pyramid. The base corners can be marked in line with the XY line. So here this projector is common for A and B. There I can mark A dash and B dash, and here this projector is common for C and D. So here I can mark C dash and D dash. So in a single point we are having with two corners, two names. So definitely one needs to be go inside the bracket. Just look the solid from the front. So which is the corner visible to you, which is invisible to you. Here the A corner is visible to your eyes. So the B corner is nothing but the invisible one, needs to be go inside the bracket. Similarly, when you look the for D and C, here D is visible to you and C is invisible to you. So C is need to be go inside the bracket. And in order to mark the apex point O, you have to mark it in the projector of the apex point at the height of 65 mm from the base. First measure the 65 mm altitude, then you can mark. Here I can mark O dash. Now connect OA, OB, OC, OD. So I am connecting OA. OB is just in line with the OA itself. So you need not to draw once again. Similarly, OD and OC are concentric. Okay, this is nothing but the simple front view and simple top view of the given solid. I just draw the simple top view and simple front view, and here you need to note one thing: the axis can be drawn in this question. You need to draw the axis also. The format for drawing the axis I have already told to you. A dashed dotted line is nothing but the axis. So in that line format you can draw the axis here. Dashed and dotted line format. By using that format you can draw the axis here. And that after we can go for thinking about the final condition. So this position is not the right position as per the problem statement. As per the problem statement, the right position is the solid need to be rest on HP, not with the base, not with the entire base surface. It need to be rest with the HP by only one base side. In the meantime, the axis of the solid need to be inclined at 30 degree. Need to be 30 degree inclined to HP. In that way only you have to provide the final condition. by considering the question statement here, two mistakes you can find. That is, the axis is not inclined at 30 to HP. It is actually now perpendicular to HP. Since it is perpendicular to XY in the front view, if anything having that any the geometrical relation in the front view with respect to XY, automatically we can consider it for with respect to HP in the actual environment. The axis is now perpendicular to XY, so the axis is now perpendicular to HP. And now the entire base surface is resting on HP, but we need to maintain only one base edge in the HP. So in order to bring out these two missed conditions in the existing level, what you need to do is you need to tilt this front view and draw it again. This is nothing but change of position method. You need to tilt the existing front view in the perfect way, the way in which the problem statement is telling to you. Okay, here the axis is now perpendicular to HP. You need to make it inclined at 30 degree to HP. That's it. For that, a lot of geometrical short ways are available. I will tell you one thing. You can follow which one is comfortable to you. Okay. The objective is just I need to redraw this simple front view in the tilted manner. That's it. For that, anyway you can follow, but before you need to assure one thing: the dimensions and the angularity relations should not be violated in the next view. Okay. By my aim, this is nothing but a triangle. Okay, this is nothing but a triangle. The dimensions are very well to measure, and my aim is to redraw it. For that, what I am doing is I just make it in provide it inside a box. I just enclosed this front view inside a box. Okay. Now I needed to redraw this box with 30 degree inclined to XY. For that, first I need to draw a pilot line which is 30 degree inclined to XY. This line is 30 degree inclined to XY. And now I need to redraw this box. Just I am going to measure the box dimensions. I just redrawn that box, and then I needed to mark the base corners relatively with the simple projection. So here A dash and B dash are there, and there I can mark C dash and D dash, and here I marked already, that is the O dash point, and then I need to connect them with the HB pencil. See here, now the axis is become 30 degree inclined to HP. Here the axis is perpendicular to HP, but now the axis is inclined at 30 degree to HP. The same you can verify because the outermost boundary of the box which is enclosed to the object is parallel to the axis line. See, this line is parallel to the axis. When this line is inclined to 30 degree, automatically the axis also become 30 degree inclined to XY. That you can mention once again for the better understanding of the examiner also. No need, but mentioning is not wrong. The axis itself 30 degree inclined to HP. Immediately after that, you needed to draw the projectors from the front view towards the top view area. I just completed drawing the projectors from each and every corner. In order to complete the final top view, this is actually final front view. In order to complete the final top view, you need to obtain the horizontal projectors from the previous top view. So from the simple top view, again I am extending the projectors, horizontal projectors from each and every corner. Now you need to identify the cut points like in the projection of planes chapter. See here, starting from A dash and A. Here I can mark the final A. The same way B dash and B. C dash and here C. D dash, D, and O dash, O. Okay, that way you have to mark the points. So after that, connecting the corners in order to obtain the base edges and the slant edges, it's an important part here because definitely number of edges will become visible edges. Number of edges will become invisible edges. Visible edges need to be drawn with a continuous narrow line, and invisible edges need to be drawn with the dashed line. I think you may remember the difference between the invisible edge and a visible edge. If a edge is straight away visible to your eyes, is nothing but visible edges. The edge which is exists in solid but not visible to your eyes in a particular way are considered as invisible edges. These invisible edges are also need to be marked without missing them. But in how to identify who are all the visible edges and who are all the invisible edges? By some experience, it is easy for a person to identify visible and invisible edges. For example, if a new let an experienced person in engineering graphics or engineering drawing to see and judge which are all the visible edges and invisible edges in this group, then he will tell you without doing any rough work. But at this kind of some entry level, for example your level, it is need to be have some procedure to connect the edges rightly, whether they are visible edges or invisible edges. I will tell you a set of procedure which is not available in the books. I will give you the procedure. By following the procedure, if you connect the edges in the solid, definitely you can connect the visible and invisible edges in the right way. Okay, and before that you have to have a list of edges in that solid. See, what are all the edges present in the solid? How many edges actually? 4 base edges and 4 slant edges. What are they? Just list out them. Let me do it here. Who are all the base edges? AB, BC, CD and DA. These 4 are the base edges. And who are all the face edges? Sorry, slant edges? OA, OB, OC and OD. These 4 are the slant edges. Slant edges are side edges. So you need to draw these all 8 edges in the final top view. Meanwhile, you need to consider their visibility also, whether they are visible edges or invisible edges. For that, just look over the procedure. I need to rub something here. This procedure can be opted for all the problems. Okay. The first procedure is connect all outer corners as visible edges. All outer corners as visible edges. So in that group, A, B, C, D, O, these corners are arranged in a way. First you need to connect all the outer corners as visible edges. See here how I am doing that. I am connecting BC, I am connecting OC, I am connecting OD, I am connecting OA and I am connecting AB. Irrespective of considering the base edge, side edge, I just connected the outermost corners as visible edges. Why I am telling it is visible edges? I am connecting with the narrow line, continuous narrow line. I am not using the dashed line format here. And then just note them, how many edges are obtained as of now. So AB, the edge AB is obtained, the edge BC obtained, the edge CD not obtained, the edge DA is obtained. And about the side edges case, the edge OA is obtained, not obtained, the edge OB is obtained, not obtained, the edge OC is obtained, yes, it's obtained, the edge OD is obtained, yes, it's obtained. So in the case of the first step, by following the first step in the procedure, we connected nearly maximum of the edges. That is, in base edge side we connected 3 edges, in side edges side we connected 2 edges, and only 1 edge in the base edge side and 2 edges in the side edge side remains without connecting. So what is the second step in the procedure? The second step is, actually this second step is not applicable for this question. However, just have a look at that. We need to connect all remaining face corners as visible edges. Face corners as visible edges. Actually, this solid is a pyramid. This solid is a pyramid. In this solid, there is no face. Since there is no face, there is no face corners and there is no face edges also. So the point number 2 is not applicable for this problem. Okay, just skip it. And what is the third step is connect all remaining base corners as invisible edges. Face corners as invisible edges. So what is the third point? Connect all remaining base corners. Who are all the remaining base corners or base edges? CD. CD is the one and only remaining base edge. What we needed to do? Connect it as invisible edge. As invisible edge. See, you needed to connect the CD as invisible edge. So I am going to connect the CD as invisible edge by using the dashed line format. I used dashed line format. Logically you can prove it. See here, when you look the solid from the top, is it possible to see the edge CD? It is possible to see the edge CD? No, it's just come under the solid. So definitely the rest of the portion of the solid will not show you the edge CD. That's why the CD become the invisible edge by fact. This fact can be correctly obtained by following the rule number 3. And what is the fourth rule? Connect remaining lateral edges by seeing and judging them. So the remaining edges are nothing but OA and OB, which are all not yet connected. In order to identify whether they are visible or invisible, just you need to have a look on the drawing. Then you can find out whether they are visible or invisible. Just to see that the edge OA and OB, when you look from the top, we are processing only with the top view. That's why I am asking you to look from the top. When you look from the top, whether the edge OA and OB are visible to you or not. Simply say they are just open to your eyes or hiding in below the solid or nothing else. See here, they too are simply visible to your eyes. So the OA and OB are visible edges. So in that way, the lateral edges need to be judged by us simply by seeing the drawing. In the same way also, you can judge all other base edges and side edges. But at the entry stage, I am asking you to follow this procedure. Definitely after some day, you need not to follow any procedure. At the entry level only, you need to refer this procedure. And after some time, simply by seeing the solid, you can predict who are all the visible edges and invisible edges when you look the solid from the top. Now this time you can follow this procedure. So now the problem is completed. You just draw the simple front view and the simple top view. By using that simple front view, you draw the final front view and the final top view. So this is nothing but projection of solids axis inclination case. Here the axis is inclined to HP and parallel to VP. So this procedure can be followed for all the problems in this unit. Even for the axis inclined to VP and parallel to HP case, the next case also, you can follow the same procedure. The procedure need not to be changed. The solid may be changed. from problem to problem. The resting condition may be changed. Axis rest, base side resting, base corner resting, or side face resting. The resting condition may be changed. The solid may be changed. Square prism, pentagonal prism, hexagonal prism, and square pyramid, whatever it may be. The procedure for solving it remains the same like the first question. Okay, so definitely we are going to see lot of the problems in that chapter, and we can have a concrete idea at the end about the change of question method. Okay, now if you are having any doubt in that context, you can ask.